Hey guys, good morning you motherfuckers. How's life? Life for me is good. I just woke up. I got the best woman in the world. She made me a bacon, egg, and ham sandwich. Ooh. I got a big ass carton of Ojanial juice and a napkin. Always gotta have napkins to wipe your face, because I don't know, like you guys or me or whatever not, I can't eat shit without getting shit all over myself, so I definitely need a shitload of napkins. Not enough to ruin the environment, but enough to wipe the shit off of my face. So today, I got no topics. Nothing. I don't got shit to talk about. I don't got anything, but I got time to drive to work, so I'm going to turn this damn thing on and I'm just going to start talking. Something will just pop in the top of my head. You know what's popping in the top of my head? You guys. All of you 4 people that watch these things every single day and listen to them for 20-something minutes. I want to tell you guys I appreciate everything you guys do for me. I appreciate everybody that's sharing everything on Instagram stories. I appreciate all you guys that are sharing it on Facebook. I appreciate all you guys that DM me on Instagram and tell me about your stories and tell me about the topics that I talk about that actually reflect your life or that actually mean something to you or some problem that you have, and we just discuss it personally. And I believe that's the whole point of this. Like I've said to you guys before, was, well, oh wow, the gate worked. I got a new gate key for my for where I live, and now I don't have to use this button clicker anymore. Anyway, I'm just glad that I can reach out to people and help them with problems, or they kind of face the same problems I have, or they live similar lives, or they've had similar situations happen to them. And when I first started doing these, I had no clue what I was doing. Actually, to be honest with you, I've been doing this for, I think it's been over a month. I'm like 30-something videos in. I haven't done it every single day, but I've done it pretty much. I've done it, pretty much almost every single day. I've skipped a few days here and there. And, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know if these are like the right way of doing videos or whatnot, but I've had other people that make videos and they ask me, how do I do my editing? And then when they ask me that, I just fucking laugh my ass off, because there is no editing. I don't edit shit. The only things that I edit are at the very beginning when I start my videos, because I always go, I always clear my throat, and then I always go, and I always there's a little bit of silence. So I always edit that shit out, which by editing, I just cut it until it gets to the part where I start talking. And then recently I've been adding a couple videos in between these videos to reference what I've been doing for riding, or my birthday when I had my dirty 30. But other than that, I don't edit shit. I don't really censor anything. Well, to be honest, yes, I do censor things. I censor certain people's names if I'm talking about certain people or certain situations. And obviously, anything to do with my drug use when I was younger. Actually, I haven't even talked about my drug use when I was younger. Maybe that's a topic I should talk about, and the choices that I made, the choices I decided to do when it came to drugs. And now I know, since I'm on this topic, I might as well talk about it a little bit. I know everybody sees drugs as something different. All right? My personal belief in drugs is anything that alters your mind is a drug. Because I'll be honest with you, I've huffed gas before. That's a fucking drug. Pretty sure if you got those little cool markers that smell like bananas and apples and shit, if you sniff those long enough, you can get high on them fucking things. Even Ritalин's a drug. People, that's the sad part, man. If you have kids and your kids are hyper, and you get a doctor or a stupid fucking teacher that doesn't want to do her job or his job and recommends Ritalin, you tell those people to fuck off. Ritalin is the worst drug there is, period. All right, and the reason I'm going to tell you that is it's a gateway. It's a gateway, number one, to get hooked on taking pills. And then if you're already an upper kind of kid, that makes you such a downer. But it's a downer where it's not good at all. I took Ritalin. I think I took Ritalin for a month, and I took it a couple times, and then after that, I would fake take it, and then I'd just sell it at school. Yeah, that sounds crazy. Yeah, I would sell my Ritalin, but Ritalin is the worst thing that you can give to a kid, and I don't give a fuck who you are. If your kid's on Ritalin and you think it's a good idea, it's not. My little brother used to take Ritalin, and then he went from taking Ritalin as a pill to taking Ritalin, crushing it up and sniffing it, and then taking it as far as crushing it up and shooting it up. And I know that sounds crazy, but that drug is so goddamn bad. And if you're already a semi-downer person and you're taking Ritalin, it just turns into an upper for you. I just do not like Ritalin. And what it did for my brother and how it ruined his life. Obviously, there's other things that play into his life, but taking the Ritalin was a starter of that. And I just feel like if you're a teacher or a counselor or something like that, and you're taking a beautiful child, a child that's just happy about life, and he's super hyper and running around, you should accept that fact and allow him to be a kid and not take that away from him by giving him fucking Ritalin. I am so against Ritalin. Now, other drugs like weed, I told you guys before, weed is a gateway. I know that's a corny way of saying it, but weed just leads to everything else. You're eventually going to hang out with people, and people will be like, oh, well, I got some Coke. Want to try some Coke? And you're already high, so you're like, well, fuck it. Let me try that high. You know what I'm saying? Then you're going to start drinking alcohol, and alcohol, Coke, and weed, that all mixes great together. It's probably a good mixer. Alcohol, I fucking hate alcohol. I don't drink. I've never had a drink before in my life. All right, well, I lied. I drank for 9 months straight, and then my mom gave birth to me. All right, horrible joke. Anyway, I never drank. I went to tons of parties, and everybody was drinking, and people always ask me, like, oh, Ricky, I was at that party. I was all fucked up. You were fucked up, too. Nah, man, you were fucked up. I was just being my normal self, acting crazy. And then I could act crazier because you're already fucked up, so that's like an excuse to be crazier. And I always said no. It's so easy to say no. And that's another thing where kids are afraid to say no, or they feel like they're a pussy, or like peer pressure. I've had peer pressure where I've been socked in the face multiple times by bigger dudes. Like, I could remember being 16, or but probably 17 when I quit. When I quit smoking weed and that stuff. And there was this big Indian guy, and his name was Smiley. And he's like, yo, you're going to fucking drink. And I was like, I ain't fucking drinking. He's like, you're going to get high with us. I was like, nope. And he just straight socked me right in the fucking face. I took it like a man, and I just fucking left, dude. You don't need to be around people that are peer pressuring you to do shit, man. Fuck those people. And I know this topic's more geared towards kids that are younger. So if there's younger guys that are on here and they're just starting life, usually if there's guys that are my age, they're already pretty much past partying, or their life is just fucked and there's no return. Like, you either really super party and don't have your shit together, or you know your limits and you do whatever you do. Now, to the guys that casually smoke weed and they got that down, totally fine with it. If it doesn't interrupt with your life, if you can go on doing your job and that's your shit, no problem with it. But if it just leads to you getting more fucked up and doing more things that you should have never done, that's where I have a problem. And drugs in general, to me, they're fucking horrible. I've had so many things in my life happen. All right, fuck it. We're on the topic. I could remember being with, here's where we come into names and stuff like that. I'll change the person's name. I can remember being with this kid named Jimmy. Nah, fuck it, my cousin. All right, I can remember being with my cousin, and we're riding our bike, and he's like, hey, yo, cuz, I gotta make a stop. You wanna come with me? I'm like, yeah, sure. All right, I'm not naive, but I'm really naive when it comes to dope. Like, I know when a person's high on meth, but like the whole inner works of the meth and all of that sometimes is confusing. Because some people, if they're so addicted to meth and they have that body type where they don't look super skinny, or they're not missing their teeth, or their eyes ain't yellow and fucking they don't have bumps and rashes all over their face, those people are fucking tricky. All right? So my cousin's one of those fucks that does that stuff, and somehow never looks like he's high, but he was high. So he's like, hey, I gotta go stop over and go do something. You want to come with me? And I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. So we stop and we go to this like apartment complex, and up top is like, you know, one door to one apartment, another door on the other side to another apartment, and then there's like stairs that go down to another apartment. And he's like, yeah, we'll just leave our bikes out here and we gotta go down these stairs and go in this apartment. I gotta go talk to some dude. And I'm like, all right. So we leave our bikes outside, we walk downstairs, we knock on the door, and the door just opens. I don't see anyone. I don't really, like, when you looked inside of it, it was kind of dark. It's like one of those ones where you look into a doorway and it's just like a hallway, and then it's just a big opening, but I couldn't see anything. And so Jaber, fuck, you didn't hear that name. That name was fuck. Anyway, okay. So he walks in, and then I walk in behind him, and the door quickly fucking closes. Now, when you walk into a dingy, dark basement area, and you know your cousin's high as fuck, you know you're in the wrong situation. So the door slams real quick, and I look behind me, and there's just this big, huge biker dude. All I can remember is a dude with like greasy black hair and like gangster clothing from the early 2000s. This is like 2002, 2003, so he probably had like South Pole and shit on. There was like a table with nothing on it. The whole house was completely clear, and it was just like all eyes on us. And it was one of those situations where like I was so uncomfortable and I knew I shouldn't have been there. And my cousin just kind of like taps my hand and looks at me and goes, yo, just leave. Just leave. And I don't know what the fuck. Like somehow I got to turn around. The dude standing next to the door just let me leave out the thing. And I didn't see my cousin for weeks. I don't know what the fuck happened. I just know that I was naive and I thought it was cool to just hang out with someone, and I got myself in a situation where something bad could have probably happened to me. Now, I never asked my cousin about the situation. I'm pretty sure something fucked up happened, and it's just things like that, like just innocent fucking things where you think just hanging out with a person, you never know where your choices are going to lead you. You never know what's going to happen. You never know. Like, you could be the good person not doing anything, and you can be in a situation, and this yes or no can decide your whole fucking life. And I've been in so many situations. Like, that one was just a very uneasy one because I had no clue what was going to happen. Now, let me tell you, I know all those dudes were high as fuck. I saw broken light bulbs. I saw, tinfoil around. And to some people that don't know nothing about meth or anything like that, those are just clues of people that get high on that shit. So it's just like, I just don't like I don't like drugs. I don't like them because of personal experiences, not because I've done fucking meth, and not because like I was high on fucking, doing anything that's like those drugs. It's just the effects and things that have happened to me and have happened to my family. Now, I haven't really addressed this situation But my brother was killed, and it was due to drugs. And so, like, obviously, I just want to say this to people. If you have addiction, if you're hooked on drugs, if you're a thief, if you're hooked on a vape pen, I don't give a fuck, whatever you're hooked on, but it's affecting your life and your family, your surrounding people that are around you will try to do whatever they can to help you. But I'll be very honest with you, a majority of time, it takes something fucked up to happen to you, or for you to go to jail, or for you to almost die, or for somebody to die, for you to realize, like, hey, I need to stop being a fucking dumbass, and I need to grow up, and I need to do something about this. And that's usually what it takes. You could go to fucking therapy, ain't gonna help. You can go to AA, ain't gonna help. You gotta figure it out for yourself. And that's the hard part. And I see a lot of kids that go down that same path of getting hooked on drugs and hanging out with their friends all night long, and then they start stealing shit, and they start going to jail, and then they're fucking around with girls, and they get some girl pregnant, and it's just like this same vicious line of doing all this stupid shit, and their life goes nowhere. And the sad part is usually they're really talented. They're good at bike riding, they're good at drawing, they're good at rapping, they're good at singing, they're good at playing instruments, but what they're not good at is self-control. And usually the self-control comes to drugs and drinking and stupid shit like that. And so, like, I'm very opinionated because I'm affected by it personally. Really bad. Like, it really pisses me off. I'm gonna actually, I think, talk about my little brother and talk about the incident in full detail. I think I just need to make a video so I can get it off my chest. I think I really do. Back to people that do this recreational. If you drink, you know, you work 40, 50 hours, you got kids, and you just want to have a beer, that's fine, man. I have no problem against that. I'm not calling you a piece of shit. I'm not calling you worthless. You know what I mean? If you smoke weed or you vape or you smoke cigarettes and you're doing everything in moderation, totally cool with it. Fine. That's what you choose to do. If you can still be a productive person in society, fine. But it's when people take it to the extreme and they can't cope with life without having that shit. That's where it bothers me. Like, and it also bothers me, if you're going to be a part of my life, I'm going to be a part of your life. So if you have no problem fucking smoking weed and smoking cigarettes and being a fucking loser in front of me, I have no problem calling you a fucking loser. And this all comes to, I just don't hang out with people that fucking do drugs and do that. I only hang out with people that ride BMX. So if you're a BMXer and the first thing you think about doing is smoking fucking 4 pounds of weed before you go out to ride, I'm probably gonna bitch and complain about it, because you have a fucking serious problem. You have a problem that you can't cope with life, that you gotta get fucking so high that the only way for you to get through your day is you gotta smoke 7 blunts. Doesn't make sense. Take a couple fucking hits, you're fine, dude. Nobody needs 7 fucking blunts to be high. Trust me, you're high after a few hits. You're just wasting weed. To all you professional weed smokers, am I right or wrong? If you're smoking fucking 7 blunts in the morning, you're wasting weed. To the people that have to wake up and have a beer every single day, that shit sucks, man. Like, you don't need a beer to wake up. You don't need a beer in the middle of your break, and you don't need a beer when you get right off of work. Something's wrong. You're stressed out. Something led to that, and then now you're just addicted to drinking. And if you hang out with me and that's what you got to do, I'm going to bitch and complain about it. Only because it's like I'm a grown-ass adult and I don't want to be around it. Maybe this comes back into bitching, or maybe this just comes into the fact that I've been around it and I've lived it and I don't like it. I don't like drinking. I've seen what cirrhosis of the liver does. I've seen people turn yellow. I've seen people die. I saw a dude so drunk that he choked on a spoonful of peanut butter. So drunk, this dude was eating peanut butter off of a spoon and ended up choking and dying. And I remember watching, I was a young kid, I was probably like 8 or 9, and I remember the ambulance and the ambulance people trying to help this guy, and the guy's just The guy's fucking dead. Dude's drunk as shit, drinking fucking peanut butter, or trying to eat peanut butter, and died. I've just seen so many fucking things that I'm hateful towards it. And I apologize to people if this is like a scrambled mess. Somehow I didn't have a topic, and then as soon as I start talking about drugs or drinking or smoking, I'm like right there. I just go right to it. I was hoping to be positive, like I said yesterday, but that shit didn't last long. So I'm positive, and I'm happy I'm alive, but I guess I'm more addicted to bitching and complaining than anything else. Maybe this ain't even bitching and complaining. Maybe this is just telling it how it is. I don't know. If you guys know somebody, or you guys used to be addicted to something, or you guys have had problems, you know, and you guys want to talk about it, you can DM me. You can write it in the comments. We can discuss it and talk about it. I have so many topics that I need to talk about, and I want to talk about them in a whole, but it's really hard because it's so personal. And like I've told you guys before, I have such a big family. If any of my family members watch this, I'm pretty sure they'll be fucking mad at me, because some of it will just feel like I'm talking shit, or feel like I'm being some fucking asshole and I'm publicly putting it out there. But at the same time, it's affecting my life. And this is years later. I'm 37 years old, and I'm still affected by things that happened to me when I'm 8 years old, when I'm 7 years old, when I'm 10 years old, when I'm 15, when I'm 16. Like, so many things happen. So fuck it, I guess. How many are going to watch this? How many of my family members actually watch this? I know 3 that watch it. I don't know too many. So I guess I'll just have to keep names out of it. I fucked up earlier and said one name. But like I was saying, I'm starting to love these. I hope you guys love these. If you guys got any comments, you guys want to leave some things about down here, you guys want to talk about it, leave me some comments. Let's talk about it. Also, sorry if I'm bitching or if I get really, really pissy about these things, but they're really personal to me. So I don't know how I'm going to feel once I start talking about them, but once I get into them, I'm just going to keep talking. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you share it on Instagram and Facebook. Also, thanks to everybody that does help out. Thanks to everybody that comments. Thanks for people sharing their ideas. Any ideas you guys have, leave them at the bottom. It always opens up topics for me in the morning. I love all of you guys. Please know that I'm not trying to shit talk on you. If there's something that affected you personally, or there's something that you do and I start addressing it or talking about it, just write a comment and say, hey man, you know, that applies to me, and this is how I'm handling it, or this is the problem that I'm having. Do you have any suggestions? And I'd love to help you out with that. So make sure you guys like this video, comment down below, share this shit, hit the notification bell. I love all you guys. Have the greatest day in the world. And guess what? Fuck drugs.